as knowing how to build a cool app.
Absolutely. It shows you can not only deliver technically, but that you can thrive in a team environment.
Yeah.
And for a company like Cognizant that's likely working on large-scale projects with diverse teams, that's huge.
So just to recap here, we've got the importance of understanding when to use different Power Apps approaches, the value of being able to connect different data sources, and this subtle but clear emphasis on collaboration.
And we're just getting started. Let's move on to another platform that seems to be close to Cognizant's heart, and that's SharePoint. And they get pretty specific with their SharePoint questions too, which tells us something.
Yeah, and they're not messing around with those SharePoint questions. They get pretty granular, which tells me they're looking for some serious SharePoint chops.
What I find interesting is how they ask about modern versus classic SharePoint. It's not just, hey, do you know the difference? They want to know you get the why behind it, the evolution, and more importantly, what it means to actually migrate between the two.
Right. They're probably knee-deep in helping clients modernize their systems, which a lot of times means moving from classic SharePoint to, well, the brave new world of modern SharePoint.
Exactly. It's a huge undertaking for a lot of companies, and Cognizant is likely right there on the front lines of these digital transformation projects. Knowing those little differences between each version, being able to explain the benefits of migrating, that's gold to them.
So for someone listening who, maybe they're not migrating SharePoint environments every day, what are some of those key differences between classic and modern? Just break it down for us.
Imagine you're walking into like a really sleek, modern office space. It's open, collaborative, easy to find your way around. That's modern SharePoint. It's designed for the way people work now, right?
Wow.
Mobile first, easy to customize, user-friendly. Classic SharePoint, on the other hand. That's more like that old office building we've all been in. It works, but, it's a little clunky, a little outdated.
And I bet those older SharePoint environments can be a real pain for companies trying to stay agile, trying to stay competitive.
Totally. Think about content organization, user experience, being able to access things on your phone. Modern SharePoint tackles those pain points head on, which is exactly why so many companies are making the move.
So when Cognizant asks about your migration experience, they want to know you can handle those complexities and bring their clients along smoothly.
And that you see the bigger picture. Migrating to modern SharePoint, it's not just about, oh, let's move some files. It's understanding the client's business, who their users are, what their goals are.
It's almost like you have to be a consultant as much as a technologist. Okay, let's talk SPFX, SharePoint framework. I saw those questions and I was like, all right, time to geek out. But for those who might not be fluent in developer speak, what is SPFX and why is it a big deal?
So SPFX, it's basically this modern development framework. It lets you create custom stuff on top of SharePoint using the latest and greatest web technologies. It's like a toolkit for developers, right? They can build really customized SharePoint experiences without having to start from zero every time.
So say a client needs a really unique web part that integrates with their internal systems or maybe some kind of custom workflow that makes a specific business process way more efficient. That's where SPFX comes in.
You got it. It's about pushing those SharePoint boundaries and building solutions that solve very specific business problems.
And they're not just asking if you've used SPFX, but how comfortable you are with different JavaScript frameworks. Why the focus on JS frameworks?
Well, because SPFX development often goes hand in hand with these popular JavaScript frameworks, things like React, Angular, Vue.js. They give you those pre-built components, those tools that speed up development and make it easier to create those more intricate web applications.
It's like having, I don't know,